Okay everyone, welcome back to Oop to Premium, and hopefully in this game we're going to come up with some new discoveries. I'm very eager again to test in-game scenarios to see exactly what what new exciting developments can happen on that front. And so I think that's going to cover it, and we're just going to go ahead and start, okay? Why not just jump right in and enjoy what we've created, fruits of our labor. All right, so here we go. Here's a 2. Gonna rock the 2 to start. At this point, we'll just go ahead and let's just do a crop reveal for this particular camera. This is what we start out with. Notice that we have squash in the undercut crop. All right. Okay. So bearing that in mind, we want to keep that in place. But, you know, it's also important to notice as you're playing that don't forget to reference the explanatory card, right? You know, this card has, the advanced explanatory card has all kinds of wonderful information on it. It can tell you about each die roll. It can tell you about the growing season. And then, of course, if you flip it on the back, you know, you get additional information about how to score, and also maybe some common rules that come up on a regular basis. And then not only that, you also have you have this chart that tells you what to do in the failed sabotage and failed adversity card situations, right? So this is a wonderful asset. Don't forget every time you're playing to reference this card, because it'll trust me, it'll make you a better player. You'll be more savvy and more cognizant of the opportunities that avail themselves as you progress in your UFTA mastery, right? And so here we go. I'm just going to go ahead and start, and we're going to let's take the number 2. Moving on. Okay, and so, you know, I'm not a, what do you call it, a spring chicken anymore. And I'm not very good. I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm not very good at memorizing which field has which cover crop. And so if you are savvy about that, you know, you still have your wits about you, then you will find success in UFTA. Because, you know, the memorization game is not a huge part of UFTA. That's not really the skill set that you need. But it is very, it's nice to have that, right? Because you know, any edge that you can have, anybody out there that's been in a super competitive environment, the slightest edge that you have over your opponents can definitely put you over the top, right? So anyway, we scored, and this has peas, potato, squash, but you know, unlike those chess players who can play 50 people at the same time, I do have trouble trying to play for everyone. In light of the plague. Of course, I was doing this before. I was doing this pre-plague, so it didn't matter. But you know, trying to assume the personalities of other people is not the easiest thing to do. Okay, so here's cool. Yeah, okay, so let's take another, let's pause for a second. This nasty card, the flood card, just got played. It got played early in the game, right? And so now we can kind of use that knowledge to our benefit. We can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief because we don't have to worry so much about that particular calamity, right? So here's a 6. Okay, so now early in the game, I've come across an early scoring opportunity. I mean, an early purchase opportunity, right? And this is where the real, the linearity explodes into multi-path fate. Okay. So first purchase of the game. Oh boy, so many good options. Never know exactly what to do here. Let's go with. Let's just purchase the disc. Very stalwart. My nickname is the George Washington of implements, the disc. It's your workhorse, right? So there's a disc, and we purchased. Now we're going to disc. For those of you who are maybe just skipping ahead, you didn't do the early, you didn't take a look at the early videos. The 2-action rule allows me to take advantage of just disking up all 4 fields, right? Having bought the disc, now I can disk everything up at once, right? So that's really cool. Keep a look at these goes to properly. All right. So here's a 4 productive. They can bounce back. So there's that. Over here we pick someone. Okay, and so one subtlety of UFTA is you do get to, if you're the person who is forced into bankruptcy, you do at least get to pick which entity to do the audit and see your assets, see your goods, right? So you don't have to pick the leader of the game, somebody else, the scoring leader. Somebody else can do it instead. And so in this case, it's player number 2. They're going to take a look and say, hey, oh, you got a lot of good stuff. Let's break up this. Let's break up this monopoly right here. So we're going to get rid of carrots. That looks good. Yeah, so I got rid of carrots, and don't forget, whatever I draw out of here has to be of less value. So it can only be peas or squash. But now notice, here's the exception to that rule, right? There's always a little bit of exceptions to every rule, and in this case, we want to take note of the fact that if I go below carrots with peas or squash, I can't do squash because that one is super valuable, right? That would be a tremendous asset. And so my only option in this particular case is to get the peas, right? So that's what we'll do. All right, looking very good. And that's going to take care of that. Moving on. Gamble, no. Not too many bad rules, really. Okay, here's a sabotage. Can't sabotage this field again. And they're looking really good. They're going to plant potatoes. Yeah, so here's an interesting case where we start the game early. We might be able to do a 2-crop combo early in the game, but because we have limited funds, it's a slower process. You can still do it. It just means holding back on a potential first harvest. Is that the right thing to do? Should you be holding out? Because anything can happen in UFTA, right? If you keep something out there. But we're going to experiment. This is the way to do it. We'll just figure it out. We got potatoes, and let's see if we get burned. Planting potatoes, and we're cultivating. And then on the next opportunity, we will do the same with the corn. I also have a difficult decision of should I put that marker token out, right? Just 5 tokens. If I commit 5 tokens to that, I could easily lose it, right? And I need those reserves to make that harvest for the corn. So again, difficult decisions, not sure what to do exactly. But we're going to put our best foot forward and see what we can come up with. Yeah, we're not going to protect this. Yep. Kind of a risky thing, right? We're Not completely satisfied, but see what happens. So this is a problem because even though we have the capacity to produce more crops to generate more revenue, just because we have that capacity doesn't mean we can, because the state of our funds at this particular moment keeps us from doing that. And so what we want to do then is just hold on to this. I mean, we can plant it, but we can't really pay for it. So that's kind of a shame. But, you know, since the trading house and the high tunnel is a very powerful combination of assets, and you'll find that this person will do very well once they get that up and going. Oh, yeah, and here's a very important point. I kind of messed this up. Notice how I planted these on the correct fields, the chard with the chard, the corn with the corn. I can't really do that because the high tunnel has a very specific rule about you can't plant something extra unless one is already there. Okay, so there's that. We have beans. Let's go to spinach. That's this spinach. 6 is productive. I'm going to get rid of my chard. I'm going to get rid of my chard. This person is going to get rid of something. They're going to get rid of the chard and smooth up. Okay. And then over here it's very productive. So we want to make sure that we 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so here's a greenhouse, right? So we bought the greenhouse. And that was a significant hint to this person's budget though. Is this the right thing to do? Yeah, greenhouse isn't going to help this person. No, I'm having second thoughts about that. They really needed that trading house. So instead, what they're going to have to do is focus their attention. Let's grab up the organic sprayer. We'll grab up the organic sprayer and then just see if we can't ram through. Okay, so here's a chart, everything looks good. Moving on. These broccoli, so now here's an important point to notice. I'm looking at my card, I'm looking at the growing season, and I'm going to say, hey, what's gonna maybe perhaps score an upta in the near future? So I want to plant and see what I can, what can I get out there to produce so that it's ripe when I need it to be. So let's try the carrots. Carrots. We need potatoes and then we need corn. Potatoes. We got this and this. Yeah, so only one of them is actually being planted. Now, yeah, I still have to pay for it, but I only have to pay the one, right? And then you might say again, well, why am I just paying 2, right? I mean, 1 token, right? Well, the high tunnel, of course, allows for the work on that extra field space to be for free, right? The planting, or any work, really. Okay, so here's spinach. However, that only works with the planting, right? Once the item has been planted with the high tunnel, the regular prices of production apply. So if you want to do multiple things on multiple field spaces, that's an elevated price. And then if you just didn't want to do one at a time, it's 1 token per, right? So gotta keep that in mind. Oh, sorry, it goes up here. Okay, so we did that. And we're ready to move on. Should I do that now? Okay, so here's another key moment, another critical turning point in the old UPTA, right? This person has a very nice destructive card. They can play it, or they can withhold it. They can withhold it and score some big points. Okay, so why don't we do that? Well, we'll keep it for now. But boy, they're going to score big. Can't. I'm compelled to. So here's a Cold War scenario, right? There's a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, don't bring back the 80s. Especially if you happen to be gay, HIV positive. Those are not good times, right? Scary times. So, sorry for all LGBTQ people. Dealt with that way back in the day. Holy shnikes. But anyway, this adversity card needs to be played on them, because if they don't, it's going to just get out of hand over here. Okay, and that takes care of that. Ooh, flood card. Okay, so now at the advanced levels of UPTA, you do need to pay attention to the flood opportunities and make sure that they're, or where they're at in the draw pile, right? Okay, so potatoes goes to carrots. Poor is productive. Okay, so difficult decision time in the game. We've got 2 adversity cards over here, one with a marker token on top. We gotta do something. Figure out which one we want to lose, if we want to lose any. But this is a more difficult decision to make, because we're on the verge of scoring 10 tokens, right? Because we kept those adversity cards. Yeah. Tough choice. Well, we're going to wipe them out quite a bit if we play this card. Not a 2-crop combo. This is not a 2-crop combo, though, right? So if it's not a 2-crop combo, then I don't think I have to worry that much about it. So let's go with chard and peas. So we got potatoes, then we got radishes. Oh, but I think that may be the end of the game. Wow, that game was short. This was a short game. I mean, it feels short to me. So yeah, sometimes they're very brisk. So that's it. That's a sudden death scenario. We got potatoes and radishes. Alright, so we got 75, 55, and 25, okay? So again, a very tight game. This person edged out by 1 harvest only, right? Yeah. And so the decisive moments for them was probably, I would say it was the opportunity where they had enough capital to go ahead and make 2 major purchases for the resource shop with their tokens, right? So that's a very important key concept to know. Anyway, so that's going to wrap up this particular game. It was fun and exciting, and yeah, we did what we could. No particular new insights, but we are very satisfied with the outcome of the game. A nice, tight, close game. And so I will see you on the flip side. So over and out for now. Thank you very much.